Cheers! Two monoamino oxidase inhibitors. I wanted to talk about why would anybody believe a maniac, a madman like Tom Riddle. I'm aware that most people probably think I'm completely insane believing something like that. Obviously this is a con man. Well, I beg to differ, and there are several reasons that I'm going to explain why I believed him and why I still believe. I'm not saying he did not he was completely truthful, because I cannot evaluate 100% of his logics, but I know that what he was talking about is very much real. I'm speaking about Tom Riddle. If you know who I mean, then don't say it, because I don't want people getting involved with this guy, because I think he's dangerous, or at least he could be. Anyway, so why would anyone believe him? So I invested like a year of my life to how should I say that, to try to catch him in a lie, and I was obsessed with that. Like, I waited for each new video. He was talking about things that were that I basically, for many of the things he talked about, I had to read up on. And I'm not talking about like the stereotypical Pythagoras was an whatever mystery school bullshit. I'm talking about psychotronics and how to do that yourself. I'm talking about unified magic, which is massively used by, according to him, by the death squads, MI6 death squads. Like when they microwaved, like, I don't know how many Catholics in Ireland. I don't think that made it into the news, but read up on it, Google it. Like, there was like several thousand people killed by microwave technology. So he had a flat completely laid out with steel plates, and he said that's because microwave radiation, when it hits a steel plate, is being transformed into heat energy. So I knew that was true. Still, I checked it out to be 100% sure, and that I did with most of what he said, which I was not 100% sure. I read up on it. He was talking about quantum physics, about the Higgs boson, about why it's such a mystery with the Higgs boson, and about Max Planck's formula and what he did wrong. And it goes on and on and on and on. Like, that was like, let's say I watched a video a day. A video would be at least an hour long, and I did that for at least a year. Then let's say I watched like 365 hours of him explaining mathematically and through physics and chemistry, which caught my eye because I used to study chemistry. So why would anyone believe him? So he, first of all, his motive was not to sell stuff. He did sell stuff, but his motive was basically was pissed off at he said, in his words, he said, these people, these trillionaires, have destroyed so many lives, including his, that he is going to fight them with their own methods. And he wrote 3 books on remote viewing. So, and I mean that's books that are used to train people in the intelligence agencies. So that's not like the, I'm not sure if you can buy them, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so this the thing he talked about, what he wanted to do was basically, the problem is that these people, they are an occult war machine. They are like in the astral realm, they are like a tank or an elephant, and he would be a fly, something like that. So he would have, he as a little fly would have to attack an elephant, but he even found a way around that. So this guy was not stupid. If you could ever find a teacher on any university like that, you could consider yourself a very lucky person. Anyway, so he predicted, for example, Katy Perry would, because he used to work for celebrities. Celebrities are not doing their own magic. They're involved in that too, but usually they are worked at by real magicians. So they still, Katy Perry, I think, is involved in magic and so on, but they are helped and trained by real people who learned that from childhood. So his mentor that got him involved with these Illuminists was an MI6 guy, or MI5, and he wrote a book, and the book is called, I think it's called Going Down to the Pub to Do a Little Magic. And I only found one copy of the book on the internet in Spanish. So anyway, I can't read Spanish. So he said the book is not available. He showed part of the book and so on, and he said if you want that book from him, he would like want $100,000 for the book. So that's how valuable these freaking books are. And it's basically a book just with drawings in it of archetypes and soul archetypes, and so anyway, it's a very long story. So why did I believe him in the first place? Usually if someone talks about something like that, hello, I'm from the Illuminati and I'm going to teach you all about magic, I'm going to turn off the thing immediately. So why did I listen to him? I listened to him because when I watched him do his rituals, for example, when I watched him do his rituals, he would do them in a park, in a cemetery / park. It was like an old war cemetery, whatever, and the huge park, and people used to walk their dogs there. Every time he started to do his rituals, the dogs would get aggressive, would even attack each other. Every time he did his rituals, immediately the weather changed. Like a wind blows up and nearly punches all the stuff off of the altar. So there was no doubt in my mind that I never seen that. And this was not like sometimes, every time he did that, something like that would happen. The time when he invoked, he used to do a ritual against Jewish people, just for fun, and he explained the history behind that, and I read up about that stuff in the Bible. So the Jewish people only had one God that could defeat them in the Bible, and it was the god of the Amalekites, and he called him Amalek. In the Bible, his name, he is the god of the Amalekites in the Bible, and the Amalekites were the only people who were successful in defeating the Jews. So he used to invoke Amalek onto the altar, and basically keep the energy there with psychotronics, by psychotronic means. And most of the stuff you can read up on about psychotronics on Google and so on is all bullshit. Anyway, so he used to put the archetype of the whole Jewish race into one of the psychotronics, and Amalek into the circle, into what he called the triangle of art. The triangle of art basically holds energy in its place by the use of psychotronics. So it's just it traps energy, and like I said, these energies, like angels, they are very, very, very subtle energies. Still, if you change them, it has huge implications. If that's too hard to understand for you, I don't know what to tell you. So he used to have this triangle of art, and he would like make rituals, like, I don't know, he used to hate Taylor Swift, and because I think he had to work for her and he didn't like her or whatever. So he used to curse Taylor Swift regularly, every day or so, and I think he invoked Hecate, which is the moon goddess, Hecate, the Mondgöttin. So he invoked Hecate to curse these people, like, and he said, and that was I think that was 7 years ago, he said Katy Perry will marry the Legolas, the guy who played Legolas in The Lord of the Rings. And at that time she still was married with Russell Brand, so I didn't know why he did that, because I still disbelieved him. So, but Google it. Who is Katy Perry married to 7 years later? And he hated her, so he did it out of spite. So he basically, what he said is to be able to fight people who have basically occult protection around them. by an army of magicians who protect them with protection spells and stuff like that, and even electronics. So I know it gets very deep. So anyway, to be able to get to these people via magic is basically impossible because they are so protected. So he said he would use, when you think about that, basically he's like a little fly flying around in the astral world, and these people are like huge elephants, so powerful. But he said still a fly can infect you with a virus and kill an elephant. And that's what he did, and he did that every day, again and 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 again, and he wouldn't stop. So according to him, he wanted $1 billion from them to stop, and he made him an offer. He made them an offer that he would stop doing that, and they refused. So he said he is so pissed off at these people by now that he's just putting everything out onto the internet. That's the guy I'm talking about, and if you know who I'm speaking about, please don't write him in the comments. I don't want people to get involved in black magic. So this was at that point like extremely interesting for me, because I mean you could not learn that anywhere, and that's like like I think like a few years earlier I would have maybe so to speak I would have killed for that knowledge. So I was like reading books from Crowley and so on, and he was the guy who said if you are so stupid that you read a book from Crowley and decipher all his arcane language and all his bullshit, and you believe that you can do that successfully, then you're an idiot, because he booby-trapped everything. He booby-trapped not only his own material so that people can't repeat the rituals successfully, or they would have hurt themselves by doing it. He also booby-trapped all of the rituals that he wrote for Wicca, for Gerald Gardner. So all this stuff is all booby-trapped. It's all meant to hurt you. And he said that in a way that there is no doubt in my mind that that's true. Like, he explained all the stuff about Kabbalism, that they switch the pillars. All these celebrities practicing the Kabbalah are using the switched pillars. They're worshipping not the tree of life, they are worshipping the backside of the tree of life, which is the tree of death. So you see these idiots running around with the Ayin Hara wristbands, the red wristbands on the right hand or on the left hand to ward off evil. That's not possible. So like all these people are involved in that. Madonna had to pay someone to show her how to switch the pillars back ritually, because she began to see like spiders and stuff. So these people go completely bonkers from these wrong rituals that they do, and he laid it out with a smile on his face. He couldn't be more content. And he said even the Freemasons have no idea that it's all bullshit. and they're all doing it the wrong way. And he can't help them. He would name a price, and he would say that this price would be available for 12 months. Then he would double it and double it and double it and double it, and I think nobody believed this guy. For a long time I was like one of 12 people who looked at this guy, and he talked about his experiences with Taylor Swift and other celebrities, and there's no doubt in my mind that he told the truth. And so he used to explain about the archetype, and then he would laugh and point to him and say, what do you think, what spirit would represent Taylor Swift? And the guy said, I don't know, Lilith? He said, Jezebel, because that's the spirit that she incorporates. So the MTV Music Awards are rituals, and you're participating in these rituals by watching them, even if you're not physically there. The more people practice a ritual, that's why one of the most powerful prayers is the most simple prayer, the Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name, because millions, billions of people have prayed this prayer. That's why it has a lot of energy. The more people are participating, the more powerful it becomes. And also what they are using is Hollywood movies to manifest magic. You can you can invoke any archetype with psychotronics. You can invoke Iron Man or Batman or whatever you want. So, and there was never any complaint from anyone about him, you know. So I think that he even sued a company because they used a name for a product that he invented, which would be the name Psychotronics or Psychotronic Crystals, I'm not sure. He sued them for stealing his name. So what else was there? Why did I believe him? Why did I invest a year of my life of deciphering his ramblings? I'm not sure. But I have no doubt in my mind that he knew exactly what he was speaking about. And I never seen anybody, least of all idiots like Anton LaVey or whatever. These people, they are deceivers. They are deceivers. He at least said it out loud that I worship, what did he call him? What did he call him? The Holy Lord Lucifer. Something like that. He used to talk about the Holy Lord Lucifer. So this this was completely a no-nonsense guy. He didn't try to advertise himself. He said, if you're not able to understand what I'm saying, if you're not able to understand the mathematics, then fuck off. I don't want you on my channel. I don't want you watching this. I want only people who know what I'm talking about. And so I invested like a year of my life to decipher all the mathematics that he talked about, and that goes way back to Max Planck and forward to quantum physics. And yeah, so I just wanted to say why I absolutely believed him. But still, I had to realize, or I had to come to realize later on that all of this was irrelevant, because Jesus is much more powerful than that. And that's a fact. And most of these Illuminists absolutely hate Christians. Like Manly Palmer Hall hated Christians with a passion, supposedly. And so, I mean, it's unbelievable. And I'm not talking about these things to impress people. I'm not talking about these things to, I don't know, put myself out there or whatever. I'm talking about that because 99% of people are completely asleep to that, and that is a reality, and most people are completely unaware of that. And just try I mean, you just have to do it yourself to see that it works. I've never did a ritual in my life that didn't work, but I stopped doing them because liberation and peace of mind is more important for me than being able to perform black magic. Also, when you read, that's a book that's absolutely available to the public. When you read Krishnamurti, Shri Shri Yukteswar's autobiography, he was a very, very well-known Hindu guru, and he had a student who was very impressed with his magic tricks, so he used to let things disappear or let things appear, materialize and dematerialize things. And his student was completely he wanted to know all about it, so he was completely fascinated with that, and he used to tell him that these are just magic tricks. You should be more intelligent than that. That's what he said to his student when he was so impressed by him, summoning up, I don't know, bread or something to eat. And the student was completely fascinated by that and so on. And he said, even this Hindu guru said, these are just magic tricks. You shouldn't be so it's a sign of stupidity to be impressed by that. So anyway, thanks for listening.